This is TB Talks and BS Walks. Join the conversation or the BS. Here are the masterminds behind the microphone, Tyler and Brian.
But the next thing I was going to talk about was, I didn't know if you saw it or not. Did you see the John Cena lawsuit?
Not until recently. Not too familiar with what's going on. I had a little bit of time to kind of look up, but I haven't read too much on it.
Well, John Cena, WWE superstar, Hollywood actor,
nice guy,
you name it. Yep. Is being sued from Ford for selling his car. As those that are wrestling insiders and watch wrestling might know, that John Cena is a car collector. He has, I think, between 45 and 50 cars in his personal collection. And he recently got a 2017 Ford GT supercar. And the only way to get a Ford GT is to be a celebrity or a car enthusiast. They only made about 200 and some of them a year, and those cars get sold. They go in a lottery and they get sold to celebrities and car enthusiasts because they're so expensive. So Ford kind of takes high regard to these cars. So John Cena was in a contract with Ford to own the car for at least 2 years.
Yes.
And in a case filed by the U.S. District Court in Michigan, Ford says that Cena promised in his application to own the car that he'd own it for 2 years, which he paid $463,000 for. Apparently, he recently sold the car in what he quoted to pay bills. So this could mean that John Cena has a spending problem and is crippling himself, so he had to have some fast cash. But nonetheless, he sold the car when he wasn't supposed to, so Ford is suing him now for $500,000. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that situation. That seems a little bit ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. A contract's a contract, man. That's a tough one. There are ways around contracts. I'm sure you could have, contacted Ford and renegotiated something to blindside him like that. And for them to have that kind of surveillance on him to know, when exactly he sold the car and everything, he must have either it made it to social media very quickly, or they were monitoring. It all seems a little strange to me. I don't understand car sales to actors or to Hollywood. I have no idea there was anything like that. So it surprises me to learn that much, and I don't know much about cars. Electronics are my forte, so to know there's these kind of contracts and negotiations just to get a car that's a rare make, and then to turn around and just sell it. I don't know. I was confused. But what I read here, it sounds like him. As I said, Ford says in the lawsuit that when the actor was confronted about the resale, he said, "I completely understand, and as stated, I'm willing to work with you and Ford to make it right. My sincerest apologies." That sounds like Cena, okay? I screwed up. Let me try and fix it. This is always the type of person I saw him as. But to this extent that they would go $500,000 for a vehicle that was already $500,000,
well, apparently it was because Cena obviously sold the car to profit.
Mm-hmm.
Which improperly benefited to Ford's detriment by receiving a large profit from the resale. Ford said they had lost almost 2 years of ambassadorship and brand value that Mr. Cena would have offered by owning the vehicle for the contractually required time.
Yeah.
So, but there again, though, I mean, I understand. I mean, breach of contract is breach of contract, but you would think that John Cena, who is highly regarded as more than a wrestling star now. He's a movie star. He's made like the most wishes.
Right.
I think he set the record. And you would think that he would have. I mean, he would have been smarter than that, or he would have had an attorney that could have got him out of the contract, especially if he was in a bind. So
yeah,
I just wanted your thoughts on it. What you thought about. I mean, first of all, if I bought a $463,000 car,
not selling it.
I shouldn't be having any issues with money.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's
they
his
say
wife, future wife, fiance, whatever.
Yeah.
Bella twins or whatever.
Yeah, Nikki Bella. Yeah, but I've heard the saying that the more you make, the more you spend.
Yep.
So
you never know. He might be a really nice guy, but he may have the same problem that a lot of people I see on a daily basis have, and he likes to gamble. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's a Texas Hold'em connoisseur. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how many people in your line of work come into a casino totally strapped for cash, but just have to spend that last $5 or $10 to try to hit it big.
There's no way for me to tell for sure. I just see them walk in, and I see them either happy when they leave or head hung. So
I was going to ask that. Can you see a people's change of emotion when they're playing?
Yeah. We'll have people come in and joke with us, and then sit down, and about an hour later they're cussing at the machine, and they start yelling at us at the door that we need to loosen the machines up, and that sort of thing happens at every casino. And it's nothing.
What do they mean by loosen the machine? What do they mean by that?
The old.
Well, I don't know if that's something you can discuss or not, but I'm just curious what loosening the machine meant.
Well, the older machines, we're digital now, but the older machines ran on gears and springs and clockwork and all that fun stuff. And, so much money went in, the springs would, loosen in a way to allow for that jackpot. Now they're all digital, so, everything's set up there. I don't even know how that whole system works, what the variables are, any of that. But the saying has always been that we need to loosen the machines because they're not paying out enough. So, I mean, you'll hear that at every casino, any casino. And, it's only tough because that they're in there so often, and most of them are pretty nice people. And so you kind of want them to win occasionally, But after it doesn't happen for so long.
You got to keep them coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's I've been out of town all week for work, and as I've said it before, I work on the crane machines that you see in Walmart and Toys R Us and things of that nature that dispense little plush toys, and those are ideally those are set to a price point,
right?
Is how that initially works, but people think that we have the claw, loose so it won't grab the toys, or we purposely put things in the machine that the claw can't grab a hold of, and
nope.
And I hear it every day. So, but I just wondered how that, I would be curious to know, like go behind the scenes and in casinos and find out how things work. I mean, that's one of those, to me, that's one of those mysteries that I would be curious to find out, how it works. The biggest one that I had was, when I worked on a magic show in Branson. And obviously, I'm still contractually obligated to that I can't reveal anything.
Right.
Even though he no longer even works. He's not performing anymore. But it was one of those deals where it was a lifetime. You can't reveal any secrets or things like that. But working on a magic show was probably, as miserable as he was to work for, the experience was cool because that was one of those mysteries that you always wanted to know. Well, how did they do that?
Yeah.
And then actually getting behind the scenes and see how it's done, like it actually would make you feel stupid because of anything you could think of, you're like, oh, that's how they do that. And it's something
right.
so easy, and it's something so easy. It's so easy. But a casino is one of those deals that it's a mystery to me. I would be curious to see how all that works.
Well, you probably would be shown, but under the same obligation you're under right now, which is you wouldn't be able to gamble ever anywhere.
Oh, I did not know that.
With the digital machines
So
the way they are, if you figure out how they work and everything, well, then you could just come in
Wow.
and yeah. So,
But
they don't
my
even
question
tell
is, how
us.
would they? Oh, yeah. I see. I thought you were saying that you're not allowed to ever gamble because you have been told.
Oh no,
I misunderstood you there.
I'm not allowed to gamble while
Okay.
I work there because you
Okay.
you work there for so long, you can kind of see how the machines work, and you kind of get an idea of when certain machines will pay out and when they won't, and what price and range and all that fun stuff. So, being in our line of work where we can observe that, we have to be, if I were ever terminated or walked away or anything, they would most likely ban me for 6 months to a year, and I wouldn't be able to go to that particular casino. But if you go into the programming and learn how the machines, do the variables and the ratios and all that
you
fun
could clean
stuff.
house.
Yeah. So if I were ever privy to that information, most likely I would be under a contract not to gamble basically anywhere, or not to gamble in the place in where I move the machines, or any gambling casino that has those specific machines. So it's
Well, not that they
interesting.
could ever, not that they would ever be able to. Well, not that they would ever be able to find out, that information. I mean, if
True.
you went to a different casino,
Not unless I was stupid
I
enough to get
understand what you're saying.
a little player's club card.
Yeah.
I don't know how they found me.
Do those players' club cards? Do they have all your personal information on there, or is it just like your name?
And I think ours have the name and email. They can have an address.
Okay.
If they do have an address, it's mostly for us to send like VIP stuff or special that are happening. But I think that's about it.
Yeah. Well, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about? Those were the two things I wanted to cover.
Well, it's
I don't
been a
know if you got
while
anything
since
to-
we've had a Brian's moment, a good BM moment.
Yeah.
Recently,
It's been a while since you had a good BM.
Yes.
They make medicine for that.
Yes. But this is the BM that requires no medication. You just got to remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So-
Brian's moment. Hit me with it. Let's do it.
Well, there's a new game that just came out. I'm kind of catching up in the series. It's probably been out for a little bit now. I actually haven't seen the release date on it, but it's Wolfenstein, the new Colossus. Have you had a opportunity to look into that or see anything of that?
I briefly saw the new Wolfenstein game. I saw some gameplay. That's something I've never played, but the new game that came out, a couple months ago looked interesting. But now, is this? Are Are you talking about the core game, or is this like a expansion that's come out?
Oh no, this is the game.
Yeah, I saw some gameplay footage. I watched briefly, but I mean, I haven't dove into it at all.
All right. Well, if we're going young Frankenstein on this, you got to remember it's Wolfenstein, not Wolfenstein. You got to make sure you get that. You know, if we're going the young Frankenstein road here, yeah, you know. But the new Colossus, I currently have the Old Blood, and I'm working on the New Order, which is the prequels.
So give me some backstory. What is Wolfenstein? I mean, what is it?
Wolfenstein is an alternate universe where we are losing the war in World War II, and actually, the New Order we have lost. Germany's basically taken complete control. The Nazis, I should say, have taken complete control of everything. They're in the United States. They're the governing power that controls everything. They've gone through and done their culling, where if you're a Jew or anything else, they've pretty much gotten rid of you by this point. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, which works great for me because when they call out BJ, I feel like I'm in the game because just for people who don't know, those are my initials. I'm actually a junior, so it's Brian Jr. Anyway, so when they talk, they just say BJ or Blazkowicz. Blazkowicz kind of pulls me out of it, but when they say, hey BJ, you need to move, I'm moving. Like that's so. I kind of gravitated towards that once I started hearing that.
That has to be German.
Yeah. Well, he's
pretty German.
They call him a half-breed. He's half Jewish and half Texan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. He's got the Texas accent. Yeah, that's great.
That's random. Half Jewish and half Texan. Okay.
Well, they made a big deal about him being from Texas, so I thought I'd throw that in there. This is a Jewish Texan killing Nazis. Comical. Yeah. But it's over the top. It's very over the top. Explosives, weapons, upgrades for your weapons. The new Colossus I actually haven't gotten yet or had the chance to play yet, but I do know a lot about what's in it. But I am working on the New Order, and in that, of course, you get weapons. You start getting upgrades for those weapons. You get perks where if you do a certain amount of kills, it increases something. So it's definitely an interesting game to look into. I actually got it on my PS4, so I had something to do when college is over and I'm at work and got nothing. And it's been a blast.
Well, I know that you're playing Elder Scrolls Online right now.
Yes. My wife and I are working on the Morrowind expansion, I think.
Yeah.
We played like 5 hours the other night.
Have you played Fortnite yet? The Battle Royale?
No, just with you. I'm planning on getting the full game because I like the cooperative aspect of it. But I have not played since the last time we played, actually.
I have a love-hate relationship with Battle Royale. And my dog just spilt hot coffee all over my lap.
Well, you're quite composed.
All right.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Well...
Just don't punch the baby. Don't punch the baby. It's not the baby's fault.
I'll punch the dog. I'll punch the dog. No, I can't do that either. That's animal abuse. Can't do that either.
Yeah, no. No animals were harmed in the making of TB Talks BS Walks, just saying.
I have a love-hate relationship with Fortnite. So, for those of you that don't know, surely everybody knows by now because it's gaining popularity by the second. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be it has potential to take over World of Warcraft. I mean, as far as players. But 100 people on the map. You have 3 different modes. You can play solo, you can play duos, or you can play squad, which is up to 4. and it's pretty much the last person or the last team standing. It's very similar to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Actually, two of the developers that were working on PUBG branched off and made Fortnite. So it's very cartoony, has a building aspect where you have to build fortresses and you can build walls on the fly. And so it's extremely addicting to play, but however, I can't kill anybody, so...
Yeah, well, in the short time we played, I was able to injure people, but I did not kill one person.
All right. What all did you tell them about me while I was gone? Cleaning up the coffee from my lap.
Well, since we're not actually talking to anybody, I didn't say much at all, except that I like how you tell me to keep them entertained when nobody's actually here to entertain. And the fact that I could edit anything I want to into this. You could walk away and I could put Lord of the Rings in the middle of all of this, or Star Wars, and nobody would be able to tell the difference of what happened. And then I said, now you can tell people you taste like Java.
Well, yeah, this is, well, yeah, it's pretty weak coffee, but I didn't make it. The wife did. So. This is why that we usually break up the show into two chunks. And then our full episode is usually the unedited version. Mm-hmm. So if you want to hear, I don't know what Brian said about me, but he could have told me that I acted like Helen Keller, and I wouldn't know what he said. So you'll be able to see the unedited version of him stalling. Hopefully there wasn't just 10 minutes of dead air.
Oh, no. I kept talking.
Mm-hmm. Take that one and put it in your pocket.
Well, that's the beauty of being the editor.
Oh, you can take that one. I was going to tell you to take the smaller one, but you have a hoodie pocket.
I'm not going to carry my hoodie.
Or are you going to carry that one?
I'm going to put it in the car and then carry my purse.
Oh, okay. Bye. Love you. Long time. Wife is leaving to go with her mother to go do some shopping, and she was asking me if she could take one of the little pistols with her, put it in her purse. And I said, yeah, just go in there in the drawer and get one.
All right. Rock and roll.
Oh, there was one other game that I was going to talk about.
Go for it.
That I just actually picked up this week. Where are we setting out on time, by the way?
48 minutes.
Okay. This will probably take us home then. I just picked it up this week, or actually last week, rather. It is $39.99 on the Xbox Store. It is called The Hunter Call of the Wild.
Oh, that's that one where it's almost set up like a survival, right? You pretty much just go and hunt animals?
It is probably one of the coolest hunting games I've played. I'm really surprised that I like it. You know, they used to have the Cabela's Dangerous Adventure games, you know, that they used to make. And those were kind of, you know, over the top, you know, not realistic, you know, yeah. Wasn't a fan. This is absolutely beautiful. This game was in beta just, I think, back in February. This game was just in beta, so it's just recently been released, and absolutely beautiful. The weather aspects are phenomenal. If you are fortunate enough to have an Xbox One X with 4K television, I mean, it's even better. But yeah, it is essentially. Were you making fun of me right there? Is that what that was?
I can't help it that you show off that you have an Xbox One X every opportunity you have.
I'm just saying, okay? I mean, it's not like I have a mansion, a house, okay? I mean, it's got 27 bedrooms. I don't know what you call it anymore, you know? No, so this is it's almost survival-like. It's not one of those deals where, you know, you have to scrounge for food and you have to build your own shelter, things like that. Right. But it does have a story, and you can switch in. You can switch in and out between solo and multiplayer on the fly. If somebody joins your game, any progress that you make is going to go towards your single player campaign also. The only downfall is that if you're the person that joins the game, you're pretty much just helping them with their story. So you both aren't going to gain
experience,
progression in the
trophies.
story.
Yeah.
Well, no, you do gain experience and you gain money from your trophies, but you just don't gain progress in the story. So, in other words, if you were to join my game, you could go around and hunt all the animals you wanted to. Whatever you kill, you get the XP and the money, but you're not going to. You can't discover any new locations, things of that nature that you would if you were in the solo. Yeah. But you can hunt. There's two different regions. There is the Pacific Northwest, and then there is I want to say it's Canada, and they each have different animals. The Pacific Northwest is the region I'm in, and they have black bear, black and white-tailed deer, moose, coyotes, and I believe there's some elk maybe. And then in the other region, you're going to have wild boar. I think it's called the roe deer. And then I forget what else they have. But anyways, so you can go and you actually hunt these animals. You can upgrade your calls. They have a call for every animal in the game. And the animals emit either a mating call, and you can post up in a tree somewhere or in a bush and call them into you. Or if they spot you or hear you or smell you, they emit a warning call. So, but the realism of the game, they did a really good job with it. They have a wind indicator. If you were actually walking, against the wind, it will put off your scent, and the animals in the area will be able to smell you, and it'll be harder for you to find them. You can hunt from the ground. You can build a blind on the fly if you want to post a blind, or you can build a tree stand. You can hunt in an elevated position. I believe it is 2 to 8 players multiplayer.
Well, I've seen the multiplayer on it.
Yeah. So I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. It's kind of one of those games like Farming Simulator. I mean, if it's kind of a game if you just want to chill and kill some time and don't want to have to worry about being killed yourself. From what I understand, you can't actually die in the game. At least I haven't yet. You're not allowed to take fall damage because to enter a tree stand you actually have to hit the X button, then it puts you up in the stand. And then to exit you have to hit the X button, then it puts you back out. So you can't fall out of the tree. So you can't. You don't have to worry about dying. But it can get quite stressful if you're tracking a huge buck. Your adrenaline kind of becomes elevated as you would, I guess, if you were hunting in real life. I'm not a hunter in real life, which is why that I didn't suspect that I would like the game, but I can go into that virtual reality universe and
have a ball,
become a expert hunter. Yeah. So if I could go back now, I don't know if I'd pay $40 for it. But it definitely is a solid game. However, I would probably wait. If I could do it over, I'd probably wait to see if it comes down to, $20 or $30 on sale. But so if you guys get a chance and want to try it out, or if they ever release a free trial on it, you might. I don't know if you'd like it or not. You kind of like.
I was gonna get it, but I didn't know anybody else who would play it, so I just kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I have it. So if you decide to pick it up, we could do a stream for that. That would be kind of fun.
That might happen after the new Colossus, because I got to work on that now.
Well, we got Gears of War.
Gears 4, yep.
Too.
Well, we got to get through Gears 1
which I
and
think,
2 and 3 and 4.
I think is the plan first. I think we're going to stream some this evening.
Yes, we have not decided whether it's going to be the first Gears or 4, but we are definitely streaming. I think, I still have Gears 4, the first play we did. So we can continue with that, or we can play Gears 1 and continue our podcast stream of that. Because the Gears 4 I'm saving until we've got 1 and 2 and 3 done with on our actual podcast channel. So,
And I am going to check the Twitter real quick before we wrap it up here.
okay.
See what we are
There is
setting.
an edit from last stream, or the last podcast that we did. We do not have 70 followers. We are following 73 people. We have 7 followers.
That's correct. Apparently, I can't read, or it was wishful thinking. It was one of the two.
I shed a little tear when I noticed it too, because our Twitter guy, Mr. Yaki, is taking care of Twitter for us, and we're
gonna have to write him up now. He's not promoting the page.
Oh no, he got a new phone, and I sent him all the information on
Yeah,
Twitter again. So
yeah, he texted me the other day and told me that he got a new phone, but he didn't have the password and stuff for the Twitter account. So I said, well, you need to contact Brian because he has all that information.
oh yeah,
So I was wondering if he did. So, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for making you guys think that we were succeeding way more than we actually are. We have 7 followers on Twitter, not 73. But
it's a work in
we do
progress.
wanna thank, we do want to thank Pornhub.com for sponsoring today's show for all of your adult needs.
Which they had to fight KY Jelly, so we won out on that one. I personally think.
Well, maybe we should try to get something more family friendly to sponsor our show. Maybe
That's probably a good idea.
maybe that's where I need to start. Yeah. Man, I don't have anything else. Unless
Dollar Shave Club, you sponsor everybody else. I mean, I realize that I don't shave that often.
Dollar Shave Club is like handing out sponsorships left and right. They do.
I know, but
sponsor
I
a
would
lot.
feel if they sponsor us, you're gonna have to do it because I love my beard. I'm not getting rid of it that easy.
Well,
I have too much of a baby face, man.
I hear that it's actually a really good shave too. I haven't actually tried their stuff, but I hear that they've got a pretty positive results. So, man, I don't have anything else. It is Saturday when we're recording this. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yes, it is.
So I'm gonna go find something to do. I got the house to myself for a little while the wife is out shopping. So, yeah, thanks for tuning into the show, and we'll by the time that you guys listen to this, you won't know that we're streaming tonight because it will have already passed. But we got some streams coming up, and but yeah, Brian, thanks for a good time as always, man, and get yourself some sleep. I know you haven't been to bed yet. You're doing one of those. You're staying awake just to record the show. That is dedication and determination.
I do my best.
Well, man, get yourself some rest. Everybody have a great day. Be kind to one another, and stay tuned.
Till next time, I'm out.